And then, if anybody has to leave, no problem. We'll shoot out a recording right after this. So yeah, today we're going through Google Sheets and KW Command, talking about how agents are using it, different things you can do with it. And then one use case that came up recently when I was talking to a KW agent that they were really excited about. They didn't know they could do it this way. It's going to save them a lot of time managing their contacts and working with their clients. So I'm going to show you that. If you have any questions, don't hesitate, throw them in the chat, throw them in the Q&A area. I am going to be keeping an eye on that. But in the meantime, let's get into it. Also, the webinar is scheduled for an hour. Do not sweat. It is not going to be an hour because this sync, super simple, super straightforward. It's going to make a lot of sense immediately. So let's get to it. I'm going to share my screen here. That one. Okay, cool. So if you are not familiar with API Nation, let's go to Command and show you. So API Nation is a tool you can use to sync a lot of different apps together and automate a lot of different apps together. For KW agents, tech trainers, all you folks, we are primarily syncing KW Command out to other tools like MailChimp, Google Contacts, iCloud Contacts, Outlook, some direct mail stuff like Thanks.io, Mailbox Power, just a lot of different stuff that agents are using, and they want to be able to use it alongside commands seamlessly. So that's what we do. We build the bridge so that you can do that. To see all the API Nation stuff, you just go into Command, click on the marketplace up here. It's going to take you to the KW marketplace, and you can search for the app you're interested in syncing with KW Command. For example, today we're doing Google Sheets. Search for that, and you'll see there's a couple different Google Sheets syncs. We have one for .boop. We have one for DocuSign Rooms. And the one we're talking about today is with KW Command. If you're curious about other API Nation syncs, we actually have our own category in the marketplace. So you can just check this box and it'll show you a bunch of different API Nation syncs all around. I think it looks like this one's showing me all the API Nation syncs with Google Sheets in them. So I can just get rid of that. There we go. So here's all the API Nation syncs. You can see right now there's 34 of them, and we're adding more all the time. Okay, cool. So let's get into Google Sheets. So let's go back and find that Google Sheets sync. There it is. So I'm going to click on that. So what this is going to do is this can be set up bidirectionally, but I'm going to talk to you about each direction because each direction kind of has a different function. In general, when I've talked to agents, when I've helped them set this up, a lot of agents set this up so that all the contacts that are in their KW Command, everybody that's in here, they're keeping track of them. They like working in Command. It's going well. But one thing they want is maybe they just want to see everything on one page. Maybe they want to develop specific reporting for it or something like that. And you can do some of that in KW Command. You can go in reports and work on that. But sometimes you just want a spreadsheet. Sometimes you just want to be able to easily manipulate all your contacts, slice and dice and find out exactly what's going on with your business. So that's where this sync comes in. It creates a real-time mirror of the contacts you have in KW Command in a spreadsheet. Let me see if I have an example spreadsheet here. KW Command contacts. Double check. We're going to make one anyway, but I want to kind of just see if I can pop one open. Hour's going to make it. Okay. So let's go ahead and make it. So to use it, you're just going to hit start free trial. It's going to take you through the process of purchasing it, giving your, putting in your payment information. That way, when the free trial is over, you can keep using it. Once you finish this, you'll have purchased it. But just to be certain, once you've purchased it, it does not mean it's on. It does not mean it's active. We still have to go to API Nation to go set it up. So as soon as I purchased it, cool, I purchased it, great. Now it says go to my apps. So I'm gonna click that and it's gonna take me to my apps. And if you ever need, you can log into the marketplace and just click on the my apps area to go directly here. And this is where you're going to manage the sync. This is where you're going to set it up. And this is where you can cancel it if you need to. You hit manage app and then you can cancel the subscription. But to set up the sync, you're just gonna hit this tile. It's gonna take you out to API Nation to finish configuring the sync. So it's gonna ask you a few questions like, which Google account would you like this sheet to live in? So I have one already attached, my professional one. You could go ahead and hit this button and connect one. Some people will use their KW Google account. Some people keep all their stuff in a separate Google account. Totally up to you. You can go ahead and connect it. So once you connect it, there's a few more questions. Do you want to sync all contacts on first run? That means it's going to take all the existing people from Command, everybody you have already in here, and it's going to push them into a spreadsheet. Most of the people I'm talking to who set this up, they want this to happen. They want everybody in there. They're trying to get it all up to date. Let's do it. The only reason I can think you wouldn't want this to happen is if you are, trying to keep track of something that's happening from now on. Maybe you're trying to keep track of contacts that are added, starting today. Maybe you're trying to, track changes that are happening starting today. Those are kind of the only reasons I think you wouldn't want everybody into a spreadsheet. So I'm gonna go ahead and sync everybody. And then you go ahead and name the sheet. So I'm gonna call this KW webinar example sheet. There we go. Okay. And then finally, it's going to ask you, which direction are we going? Are we syncing Google Sheets to KW Command to Google Sheets, or both? I'm going to hit both because it's going to create two workflows. I don't actually have to activate two, but I do want two created just in case I ever want to use it. Finally, I'm going to double check. I'm not using any other contact syncs. So this probably is not a big deal with spreadsheets because it's pretty rare that that's going on. But if you are using some other app to sync spreadsheets into your KW Command, make sure to pause that first. Otherwise, it could be a little weird. You hit continue. All right. And so now you see I have two syncs available and they're both in draft. So neither of them is active. That's not a problem. I can just choose to set up one or both of them. I'm going to start with this one, getting everybody out to a spreadsheet. I'm going to hit setup. This is going to look pretty similar to our last page. Do you want to sync all contacts? What do you want to name it? So we've dragged in those information. You can set up a filter for people who are going into that spreadsheet. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a second. And then finally, here's mapping. Mapping for spreadsheets is like not a big deal because basically we're just going to take everything we can out of KW Command, give it its own column, and put it in here. In fact, spreadsheets are a great way to find out exactly what can get synced out of an app and get it into a single page. And then also sometimes it's good to see what actually some of the information looks like when it's synced out. For example, sometimes I wonder what contact types are. What does that refer to? When I'm setting up a KW Command sync with something like MailChimp, and they say, well, can we use that contact types? What is that? What can we use there? Kind of an easy way for me to figure that out is to just pop open a spreadsheet that I've synced and look in that contact types column and find out exactly what they are, exactly what the format is, the capitalization and whatever, so I can figure out if I can use it. So you can see we're mapping everything. And this is all good to go. The filter, I just want to talk about for 1 second because it can make your life pretty sweet if you want. So this filter, you can see we're just syncing everybody out of KW Command into a Google Sheet. But some agents I've seen have gone kind of an extra step. What they'll do is they'll have, let's sync it all out to the spreadsheet, and then they'll clone this thing. Doesn't change your subscription, doesn't change your price or anything. This is all part of the same deal. And they will do something like, thank you gift. Cool. They'll rename this workflow. They'll create a second workflow, clone it, rename it thank you gift. They're going to create a new sheet called send thank you gift. Wow, what is with my typing? There we go. And then they'll set up a filter for tags contains thank you, or something like that. Thank you gift, just gift, whatever your tag you have set up. So what then happens is I am now creating a real-time spreadsheet of everybody I tag with thank you. And I now have a list of those people. And it's not a huge thing for me as an agent to do that, because if I wanted, I could just go into command and look at everybody who's tagged thank you. But if you have a virtual assistant or an admin or somebody else who, it's kind of a pain to give them credentials to get into KW Command, now you have this spreadsheet you can give them. It's going to create this spreadsheet. And then as you tag people in KW Command with thank you, it's going to put them on that spreadsheet. And your admin, your virtual assistant, whoever, can just keep an eye on that spreadsheet. Whenever somebody shows up, bam, they email out, the gift card, they send out the package of flowers, whatever it is. And you can do this a lot of different ways. Some people do it with their ISAs. They tag people they want their ISAs to call, and they just hand them the spreadsheet and they say, keep an eye on the spreadsheet, call everybody on the spreadsheet. So yeah, that is what you do. So let's see here. That is KW Command into Google Sheets. If anybody has any questions about that, go ahead and throw it in the chat. I'm going to go find that spreadsheet that we just created so we can take a look at it and you can kind of see exactly what that looks like in a spreadsheet form. It was called webinar demo. There it is. So this is what it looks like. Here's all the names, here's all the emails, phones, tags, owner type. So all this stuff is in here, pulled over from KW Command. And yeah, cool. Let us move on to the second way people are using this, and that is syncing a spreadsheet into KW Command. So occasionally we'll have, there is a lot of tools to get contacts into KW Command. You can upload them through a CSV. There's the KW app, and those are all great. The one thing is they are mostly one-time syncs. They'll get everybody in there if you want. You have to kind of format the columns exactly right and then kind of shoot it in there, but it'll get the job done that one time. Some people have forms out there through Google Forms, through Typeforms, through some other form situation that are creating lists of leads, lists of contacts that are actually growing. People are signing up. And so for those people where they have a spreadsheet that is active, they're accepting people's information onto the spreadsheet, they want to get that spreadsheet automatically into KW Command as well. So what you can do is, let's go back here. Let's go to My Syncs. And you're going to use this Google Sheets into KW Command. So I'm going to hit Setup. And here it's very similar. Very similar to the other sync. You are going to just tell it, where is this Google Sheet you want synced in? So let me go find a Google Sheet with some contact information. I'm going to use a list I have from Dotloop. So I have this Dotloop spreadsheet, everybody I've worked with in Dotloop in the past. And I thought, you know what? I want to get those people in KW Command. I haven't got them in there yet. I want to do it now so that I can start marketing to them. So what I would do is I would just grab the URL for these people. And you can say this is a static list. This isn't going to keep growing unless you're still using .loop, which is, maybe you are. But I'm just using this as an example. Most agents I've seen have kind of like a live list accepting MailChimp signups or Constant Contact signups, or like I said, Typeform or Google Form. So I've got to grab this URL, go back here, paste it in, and you saw, the columns are not exactly right. They're all kind of named crazy stuff. They're in a crazy order, but that's fine because all we're going to do is come down here and map them up. So I'm going to hit map automatically and see what that does. Nothing. Oh, some of this stuff. Yeah, city went there. And now I would just go through and map up the stuff from the columns easily. I don't have to go through and grab stuff, paste it in there. So I'm going to go through here, find the information I need, and pop it in there. Is there an email? Maybe I picked the one spreadsheet without an email. I did. Okay. Let me find a different spreadsheet. That way we can actually do this. .loop participants, maybe. This one has an email. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to change this URL to the other form with that has emails. There we go. Okay, cool. So first name, last name, but I found those automatically. Let's put some emails in there and phone numbers. Oop. There's the email. There's the phone number. And it's going to get this information in. You probably also map up, the address and stuff to get it all in there. And then I'm just going to put in the source. You would put in the form, MailChimp, Constant Contact, what have you. I'm going to put in .loop clients because that's where we're coming from. And then if I wanted, I could tag them. Maybe I want to know this is from the .loop import or something like that. Import or .loop sync if that's what's going on. Totally up to you. Again, especially if you're syncing a spreadsheet that is a lead form, people signing up for MailChimp, it might be nice to tag these as MailChimp signups or something so that you know exactly who they are. So this looks good. That's all it takes. Just pop that URL in there, use the mapping tool, makes it very simple, and then you activate it, and that's it. Now everybody from that spreadsheet is getting popped into KW Command. You don't have to kind of fiddle with different columns or anything like that. You just mapped it up and you're syncing it in there, which is great. There's a 14-day trial. So even if you did need to do this once, this is kind of a nice tool to just kind of set up and get stuff into KW Command very simply. So yeah, that is the Google Sheet into KW Command sync. I'm going to show you one more thing about this sync, but if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. So we had the KW command to Google Sheets, gets you a complete backup, a live copy of all your contacts in a Google Sheet, so you can slice and dice, find out what's going on. We have a Google Sheet in the KW command sync. That way, if you have some contacts you've been meaning to get in there, or if you have a form out there somewhere filling up a Google Sheet with leads, you can connect that into KW command so they automatically get synced in. One last thing I wanted to show you about this is you can actually, I'm going to clone this again. We made that sheet earlier, KW webinar demo. You can actually take that sheet that KW command is creating and feed it back into KW command. So let's see here. We copied it. I'm going to pop it in here. There we go. And it's probably going to map up exactly what we had. Most everything. Cool. Map automatically. There we go. Sweet. So all this stuff, it's going to pop in there. And the reason you would do this is you're going to want to make sure there's two reasons. There's one reason, and there's going to be two different things you do here. One reason is maybe you want to go through and edit a bunch of contacts you have in KW command, but it's a lot of work to kind of click through different screens. So you can sync it out to a Google Sheet, easily see what's going on here, and then you can go through and edit. I've had agents do this specifically to fix capitalizations. Maybe they got everybody in here with no capitals, maybe the capitals are wacky, maybe they didn't capitalize some first names, it's crazy. So for them, it's easier to just come in here, go through this list and fix all the names so that when they send out emails, they actually send it out to like normal looking names instead of kind of wacky SpongeBob looking capital names. So yeah, that's one reason. Or if you just want to go through and update some stuff, throw on some tags, update the source or descriptions for people who, without having to click through a bunch of screens, you can do that. So that is the only other thing I wanted to show you with Google Sheets to KW Command. So you can sync a form full of leads you've been meaning to get in there, and you can re-feed back in the sheet you just created so that you can bulk edit stuff pretty easily. Keep in mind when you do that, this box here, do not override information in command fields. So if this checked, then if you make changes on this spreadsheet to, let's say, first name, it's not going to update in KW Command because he already has a first name. She already has a first name in KW Command because that box is checked. It says it's not going to overwrite it. It will, however, if you throw in some tags in an empty tags field, it will sync those in because it's not overwriting anything. It's sliding it into an empty spot. So just keep that in mind as you set this up. If you want the box checked to just kind of slide in some new information, maybe you're adding it to that spreadsheet, or if you actually do need it to overwrite information in KW Command. All right, cool. Last thing I want to show you before we go. Good, we're 2:25. This is a very cool thing, which came up when I was meeting with a tech trainer. They kind of asked us, you know what? I got some agents out there. They like to send out kind of a survey to their clients, to their former customers, and they want the answers to the survey to go into KW Command. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to leave this, or actually I'm going to go to My Syncs. So from here in My Syncs, I am going to go to Apps, and I'm going to find KW Command. There it is, KW Command, and Google Sheets once again. So I'm going to find it in API Nation because I need kind of this additional workflow, kind of a hidden workflow, kind of a secret workflow that we've added recently. Google Sheets post a note to KW Command. So if you need this workflow, don't forget to buy the sync on the KW Marketplace. And then once you've set up your normal KW and Google Sheets syncs, just go to Apps, go to KW Command and Google Sheets, and you can see you can set up more of the syncs you've already set up, or you can set up, like I said, kind of this secret sheet that we've just created, secret workflow. So I'm going to activate this. And like I said, what this does is this is going to take answers from a type form or a Google form and post them as a note into KW Command. So it's going to ask me, all right, cool. So we're doing Google Sheets to a note. That's the one we want. We don't want this one. Where is this Google Sheet? So let's go make the Google Sheet real quick. So I'm going to go to forms.google.com. And again, like I said, Jot form, I think, syncs out to a Google Sheet. Type form, if you have that running, that'll sync out to a Google Sheet. Any of those. So I've created this form recently. And it's just, you can do anything, whatever you're going to answer them. I just said, are you pre-approved? Maybe I just want to text that out there, get some answers from new clients, get some answers from past clients, and find out who is pre-approved and have that written as a note in KW Command. You can do, are you pre-approved? I had one where it's like, what is your pet's name? How soon are you looking to move? Whatever question you want to ask them. Let's go with how are you pre-approved for now? Couple things you want to do when you create the form. You need to get their email address because we have to use their email address to find them in KW Command and make the note on the correct record. So if you just send this out, are you pre-approved? Just one question, and ask them and they answer it yes, first of all, you're not going to know who they are, who's answering yes. And second of all, we're not going to know where to put that note that says yes. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure an email address is on here and the actual question. If you go over to responses, it's going to say, sync to sheets or link spreadsheet. And you're going to click that button and then it's going to create a spreadsheet. I've already done that. So it's saying view in sheets. And if I click that, it'll take me to the spreadsheet. And there is that URL we need. So I'm going to grab that, go back to API Nation, and pop it in there. Hit subscribe. You're not actually subscribing to anything additional. It's just all part of the same subscription. And then we're going to come down here to mapping. So you can see you need to map the note title and details, and then you can map the email. So I'm just going to title this note. You can title it whatever you want, just something you're going to remember. Are you pre-approved? Survey. And then the note details. This is the actual answer to the question. So you can just pop in the actual answer. Whoop, I am. And then don't forget to add in the email. So this will be the note title, and you can call this whatever you want. You can just call it survey question, survey answer. You can put in the note details, and then you're going to put in the email. And that's it. Now I activate this sync. And now anybody who fills out this form, I can come back here, email it out to people. I can grab a link, a short link, and text it out to people. And I can just say, hey, would you mind filling this out real quick? They'll just throw in their email address, throw in their answer, and that answer will get synced into KW Command. So let's give it a shot. So I would just say, let's pick an email address. Let's go with goofy@gooftroop and gooftroop.com, of course. And then, are you pre-approved? I sure am. And you can, whatever, if you do like a short answer, it's kind of nice because they can put in a bunch more information. Like maybe I don't know what this means. And then you can follow up with them about what's going on there. And then they hit submit. So there we go. They filled it out and then they can go back to their lives. But for you, they filled it out and now it's getting put on the spreadsheet. And because it's getting put on the spreadsheet, it's getting put into KW Command. One thing I just realized as I was doing it, these have to exist in KW Command. The email has to exist in KW Command in order for it to make a note. So if you just send it out to somebody, like, I just put in that email, Goofy@GoofTroop. I'm going to try and catch it real quick before it syncs over. Goofy Goof Man. And then let me grab that email. Boop. So I'm going to try and catch it before it syncs over. Where'd it go? Yeah, okay. And create. There we go. Okay. So I've created him. Well, like I was saying, the email address has to exist in KW Command already. Otherwise, we can't find them. We can't create new contacts with this sync. So you will have to be only sending this to people who exist in KW Command. Hopefully that makes sense. So let me see about syncing this in here and we can see that note show up. Normally it kind of will sync every 10 or 15 minutes. This one. Ooh. Is that it right there? Or is that something else? I'm going to go ahead and push sync now. You can see it's going to sync every 10 minutes. I hit sync now. You won't normally have to do this. You won't have to have this window open. This just happens automatically normally, but because we're all sitting here on this call, I just want to push it through. So it says, all right, cool. Work execution complete. Let's go in here. Here's Goofy Goof Man. Let's go ahead and refresh him. And you can see now Are you pre-approved survey? There's his answer. I'm not. I don't know what this means. So there you go. You can set up surveys. You can set up little questions, send them out to your clients, send them out to your contacts, have them fill them out, and then it just goes in as a note. You don't have to go pay attention to it. You don't have to copy and paste any of that. Basically, their answers just show up right on their contact record, saving you a ton of time. So that is it. Those are the big ways we've seen people using Google Sheets with KW Command, syncing them out to a Google Sheet so that they have all their contacts in a place where they can kind of slice and dice them, syncing them back into KW Command. So if they're bringing them over from a different app, for example, it's just easy to pop them in there. And then finally, posting notes based on surveys they're sending out. That way, the information gets posted easily as a note. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to go pay attention to the answers. The answers will just automatically get thrown right into KW Command. So that's it. That is Google Sheets. If you need any assistance setting this up, you can go to apination.com/Gabe. That's me. And we can hop on a call together and we can figure it out. All right. So thank you so much. I'm going to send out this recording to everybody who's registered as soon as it's kind of done processing through Zoom. And like I said, if you have any questions, you can reply to that email, or you can just grab some time with me at apination.com/Gabe. Hope you all have a great day. I will see you next month.